ASEAN at the crossroads. The U.S. assault on global trade has intensified ASEAN's vulnerability, disrupting regional supply chains through escalating tariffs on all exports to the United States. Despite ASEAN's expected 6% GDP growth in 2025, reliance on dollar-centric systems persists, exposing economies to sanctions, targeting exports that rely on our CEP, member tech and intermediate goods transshipments, especially China and its key partners such as Cambodia, Vietnam and Malaysia. In Beijing recently, Chinese President Xi Jinping called for building a community with a shared future with neighboring countries and striving to open new ground for China's neighborhood work. President Xi, who concluded a historic three-nation tour of Malaysia, Cambodia and Vietnam last week, summarized the achievements and experience of China's neighborhood work and outlined the goals, tasks, ideas, and measures for the next phase of neighborhood work in the lead-up to his three-nation visit, which concluded in Cambodia on the 18th of April 2025. In Kuala Lumpur 2 weeks ago, the 12th ASEAN Finance Ministers and Central Bank Governors meeting AFMGM and associated conferences was attended by over 300 delegates, including ministers, central bankers, and private sector representatives from ASEAN states. Japan, Korea and EU met to address economic challenges resulting from U.S. tariffs. The meeting underscored the importance of deepening financial integration to bolster trade, investment, and economic resilience within Southeast Asia. As the chair of ASEAN, Malaysia prioritized key economic deliverables (PES), including the introduction of the ASEAN Infrastructure Fund (AIF) Action Plan 2025 to 2028, in partnership with the Asian Development Bank (ADB) and high-level dialogues with the ASEAN-US and ASEAN-EU business councils, alongside private sector engagement, to enhance the region's attractiveness as a trade and investment hub. The meetings in Beijing and Kuala Lumpur highlight regional efforts towards economic independence through collaborative financial strategies, infrastructure development, and partnerships. The outcomes of those discussions also influenced the agenda for Xi's regional tour to Malaysia, Cambodia, and Vietnam, and strong focus on collective action against external economic pressures. Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet has previously emphasized the need to harmonize our CEP and brief frameworks to counter external pressures threatening our unity. The bloc's 2024 Economic Integration report warns that U.S. policies, which are an attempt to fragment the bloc both politically and economically, could erode over $180 billion in regional trade unless ASEAN accelerates BRI-aligned digitalization and green industrialization. Central to this vision is Cambodia, emerging as a critical node in supply chains through strategic digital, agricultural, and industrial investments. Alipay, WeChat Pay, and the battle against Visa and MasterCard. The U.S. weaponization of financial infrastructure via SWIFT exclusions and secondary sanctions has underscored the urgency of decentralizing payments. Initiatives like China's digital yuan ECNY Project Bridge, and regional platforms such as Alipay, WeChat Pay, and Line Pay are reshaping ASEAN's financial ecosystems. Visa and MasterCard, once controlling 80% of ASEAN's card transactions, now hold just 58%. Their reliance on dollar clearing exposes businesses to sanctions evident when U.S. measures disrupted Vietnam's textile exports in 2023. Cambodia's leadership in payment innovation is pivotal. Bakong CBDC partners with Thailand's PromptPay and Vietnam's VCAR, enabling offline rural transactions. QR standardization, unified QR codes for Alipay, WeChat Pay, and Bakong reduce interoperability costs. Vietnam has just signed an agreement to harmonize QR code transactions. Meanwhile, Japan's Line Pay, integrated with Indonesia's Dana e-wallet, competes in e-commerce. Alipay Plus is blockchain-based. B2B platform also connects 1.5 million ASEAN SMS to Chinese buyers, bypassing correspondent bank delays. Platforms like Grab, Alipay Backed, and Goyak offer alternatives to U.S. domination of ASEAN's digital economy. Cambodia's Techo Mall integrated with Bakong bypasses Amazon's 15% fees, while Khmer provides farmers or CEP insights via non-U.S. platforms like WeChat. Alipay Plus now facilitates $15 billion in annual transactions across ASEAN. while Cambodia's blockchain-based Bakong CBDC processes $1.20 billion monthly via recorders. National Bank of Cambodia Governor Chi Saray has noted that Bakong's interoperability with ECNY ensures resilience against SWIFT exclusions. SWIFT data reveals a sharp decline in USD transactions in Cambodia 22%, replaced by Yuan 35%, and Bakong 28%. Alipay's penetration in Thai retail 70% of merchants and Malaysia's Pavilion Mall 30%. WeChat Pay usage highlights this shift. For Cambodian SMS, the impact is transformative. 90% of vendors at Phnom Penh's central market accept Alipay, driven by a new surge in Chinese tourists. A key move would be visa-free for citizens of our CEP member states to rapidly increase tourist visits. Media and communication. Cambodia operates direct flights to 38 cities globally. Tourism is beneficial to its economy, bringing much-needed revenue directly into both the local and national economies. The new tourism minister and other ministries, such as transport, commerce, and culture, are cooperating to ensure the dissemination of Cambodia's unique attractions. Long Mekong Media in Phnom Penh has partnered with Warner Discovery, one of the world's largest media production and distribution companies. Paris-based Oscar winner Scott Hillier of TV series Survivor fame and local partner Cutis Studios to launch a 10-part TV series to promote Cambodian tourism to world markets, focusing on the promotion of Cambodia's rapidly improving transport and hospitality infrastructure and key destinations such as Phnom Penh and Siem Reap, which both have brand new world-class airports. Cambodia's aviation and port hub ambitions. Foster Plus Partners, the visionary architecture firm behind Global Landmarks, has spearheaded the design of Cambodia's transformative and sustainability-focused Techo Tokmao International Airport in Phnom Penh, slated to open in June. This year, the $1.5 billion project positions Cambodia as a regional aviation hub. Located 20 kilometers south of the capital in Kandal Province, the airport can handle 13 million passengers annually, scaling up to 50 million by 2050. As a public-private partnership with significant Cambodian overseas investment, it aims to revitalize tourism, bringing in much-needed revenue. In Siem Reap, China's Yunnan Investment Group has completed the new airport, which is a gateway to the world-famous Angkor Wat. The airport can handle 10 million annual tourists by 2030. China's new COMACC 919s provide the best option for servicing regional routes, offering 50% cost savings over Boeing and aligning with supply chain diversification. Cambodia has introduced a pilot training center and a joint venture with Air China to train Cambodian pilots, reducing reliance on U.S.-certified programs. Electric mobility, removing tariffs, accelerating transition. Trump's tariffs on EVs has pushed Chinese automakers like BYD and NIO to establish ASEAN hubs. Thailand's EV board Secretary Narit Thirdster Sukti stated, RCEP 0 to 5%. EV tariffs align with BRI's green corridors, attracting $7.2 billion in Chinese FDI. Cambodia's $500 million Goshen high-tech plant produces 50,000 EV batteries monthly, leveraging Vietnam's lithium reserves to achieve the desired results for a smooth and rapid transition. ASEAN can introduce intra-block tariff elimination for our CEP members that prioritize regional mineral sourcing, for example, Indonesia's nickel, Vietnam's lithium, to bypass U.S. rules of origin, and speed EV infrastructure construction such as Cambodia's planned 100 charging stations by 2026. Cambodia is offering a 10-year tax holidays in special economic zones SEZ to attract firms like BYD. Plus, ASEAN is introducing block-wide coordination for speedy transition in public transport into EVs to cut pollution in cities like Jakarta, Hanoi and Phnom Penh, where fossil fuel vehicles degrade air quality. Huawei's BRI-backed fiber optic network covers 90% of Cambodian villages, enabling e-commerce for 2 million rural artisans. Cambodia's Techo-1 satellite, launched with BRI support, secures data sovereignty against U.S. cloud monopolies, renewables, and energy sovereignty. U.S. solar tariffs have disrupted ASEAN's clean energy transition, but BRI-funded projects like Cambodia's 150 megawatts Battambang solar farm, Sino Hydro offset losses. ASEAN Energy. Minister Darto Yoko stressed. RCEP's local content. Rules support 65%. Regional solar manufacturing. Reducing dependence on U.S. tech. BRCP has also established partnerships with solar and battery storage partners in China to allow for rapid installation of transport hub energy farms and storage to power the Mekong River port networks currently planned and operated by Cambodia's Ministry of Transport. Another key project is Cambodia's $120 million hydrogen pilot with Mitsubishi, which aims to power 500 EV buses by 2027 using rice husk biomass. The ASEAN power grid, delayed by U.S. transformer sanctions, now prioritizes yuan settlements via bridge to accelerate cross-border renewable integration. Conclusion: Cambodia is ASEAN's innovation crucible. Cambodia's BRI-aligned policies counter what Foreign Minister Prak Sokhonn calls U.S. economic coercion to fragment ASEAN. The 2023 Phnom Penh Declaration commits members to deepen RCEP BRI synergies through CBDC, standardization, and smart SEG. With $32 billion in BRI investments since 2021, Cambodia bridges digital governance, green manufacturing, and tech sovereignty and provides a sustainable and replicable model for all ASEAN member states. The road ahead. 1. ASEAN BRI Digital Council, standardized bridge adoption, targeting 50% yuan usage in intra-ASEAN trade by 2030. 2. Green industrial zones, expand BRI-funded EV hubs in Sihanoukville and Thailand's EC, leveraging Indonesian nickel and Vietnamese lithium. 3. RCEP Innovation Fund, allocate $5 billion to BRI Japan-Cambodia partnerships for AI-driven agriculture and microgrid R&D. ASEAN's 2030 vision hinges on transcending U.S. sanctions through BRI-enabled cohesion. As Deputy PM Sun Chanthal asserted, our collective sovereignty lies in rejecting fragmentation. For BRI's win-win pragmatism, five-star hotel chains and existing petrol stations are a key target for BRCP, based in Phnom Penh, to establish EV charging stations and backup electrical storage systems throughout Cambodia over the next 2 or 3 years. Transport infrastructure, building digital trade corridors. ASEAN aims to modernize transport networks through BRI-funded projects. Cambodia's Sihanoukville port expansion, a $1.5 billion initiative, reduced cargo delays by 40% using blockchain tracking. The North-South Economic Corridor, integrating AI-optimized routing, cut Vietnam-Laos freight costs by $200 million annually. BRCP has also partnered with foreign investors and China's Sichuan province trade offices and BRI offices in Chengdu to support Cambodia's opening of Mekong River ports with electrification and local processing opportunities to speed delivery times and create sustainable supply chains. Cambodia and China have signed an agreement on the Funan Techo Canal project worth $1,156 million. During the visit to Cambodia of President Xi Jinping, the canal will create a new inland waterway maritime corridor, capable of handling vessels up to 3,000 deadweight tons DWT, and is a strategic enabler for transportation and connectivity, trade, agriculture, water management, climate change resilience, tourism, and national logistics, said H. Sun Chanthal. Kampot International Tourist Port was officially inaugurated on April 21, 2025, under the patronage of His Excellency Samdech Maha Vajiralongkorn Hun Sen, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Cambodia. This port has favorable natural conditions that allow ships carrying up to 300 passengers or tourists to enter and exit the port internationally. Agriculture and digital futures. Agriculture contributes 10% of ASEAN's GDP, necessitating digital platforms to stabilize prices. Cambodia's FarmChine blockchain enables direct rice futures trading with Singapore, raising farmer incomes by 15% through quality certifications. Kampot pepper farmers use smart contracts for prepayments from Japanese buyers, ensuring fair pricing during volatile harvests. A proposed RCEP digital exchange, modeled after FarmChine and supported by Bridge, could unify regional markets, reduce speculation, and enhance food security. BRCP's Phnom Penh office has partnered with Smart Trade Networks STN in Brisbane, Australia to introduce digital trading platforms and a futures Market for Cambodian farmers of cashews, durian, bananas, and other agricultural export produce. To achieve innovation at speed and scale that can satisfy the enormous demand from China and other regional and global markets like Australia, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey. Direct sales channels for farmers through advanced digital streaming is another key project offered by BRCP for Cambodian producers. BRCP has previously worked with Huawei to promote lychee 5G direct-to-market projects in Guangdong, China.